Thank you, Mr. Sweeney. It's awesome to see so many pioneers out there, and it's great to relive so many memories with you. Obviously, I grew up here on this campus. Will Wendell's teammates stand up? Those that are here tonight. I know several had to take off. I'm the hoarder in the building, and when you all started talking about that team that won during the break, I ran down and I got that picture. So it's out there in the hall, and I appreciate Dr. Shealy and all those that put up with me saving all those things. But some pretty good pictures. Bradley Sutherland came to Transylvania from KDIS, Kentucky. I always called it CDIS, so nobody would be confused. I'm going to read this because actually Bradley wrote the introduction that he wanted me to give. So he said, Bradley came to Transylvania from KDIS, Kentucky, and quickly became Coach Brian Lane's best golfer. Can we keep going? Actually, Bradley competed before he got here, he competed in the first tee championship at Pebble Beach, which obviously was the first one that had ever been done. He played with Fuzzy Zelder, been a lifelong friend. Anybody that met Bradley, that gave him their phone number, they were lifelong friends. Am I correct? And I'm surprised Fuzzy wasn't here tonight to join us. The irony of having this induction in this facility is crazy because Bradley spent all of his time in the weight room over there and on this track. And those teammates that were here understand that. It's great to see his family here. Dr. and Mrs. Sutherland raised a wonderful young man. Doc became our social chair for the Transylvania golf team. Every time, about the 15th hole, he would come and tell me where the team was eating that night because he would call and get the reservations. And it happened, and Coach Martin obviously became the vice president of the social committee. And there were a couple times where literally the police would come get them from the restaurant because we would go back to the hotel, and the parents would just continue the festivities. Terre Haute, Indiana being a prime example of one of those. Bradley was one of the, as Justin said, Bradley was one of the all-time greatest golfers in Transylvania history. But he also messed up the budget mark so many times it killed me. We would go for hamburgers and he had to have a steak. I mean, every time. And he'd say, I would always pay the difference. So luckily, each year when he gives more money to the university, we're paying back all of that overage from those years. My other responsibility besides being the golf coach is Bradley's mother and I had a deal. Each night, the night before each of the rounds, his roommate would let me into the room, and I would come in and I would pray at the foot of his bed for a good round the next day. And obviously, it worked a few times. Is that a true story? No, it's not. It's not. But some of you think. He was 2006 Great Lakes Freshman of the Year, two-time Great Lakes All-Region. He was the first Transylvania golfer to earn Heartland Collegiate Player of the Year honors back-to-back years. He was a three-time All-Heartland Conference performer, led us to national tournament, our first appearance in 2007 in Indiana, 2008 in Georgia, 2009 at PGA Village in Port St. Lucie. He epitomized what hard work, effort, and determination, and what level that would take you to. Justin talked about the rare double-double, a two-time second-team All-American and a two-time academic All-American. Very few, probably less than 10 in the entire country that had that. Besides the fact that he was a tremendous athlete here, I'm more proud of what he's done since he's graduated. He is a leader in the mortgage industry with Central Bank. He He's won the Lexington Country Club championship, what, 4, 5, 6 times? 4 times. When he won his 4th one, he sent me a little cup that had all the winners on it and highlighted his name so that I would remember that he had done it. But this summer, Bradley played 100 holes of golf and raised over $15,000 for the First Tee program here in Central Kentucky. I can't ride 100 holes in a day, and Bradley walked 100 holes to raise money for those youngsters. And if you remember where I started, before he came to Transylvania, he competed in the inaugural First Tee program at Pebble Beach. And now, after going through Transy, graduating, now he is impacting lives just like the folks that impacted his. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you inductee Bradley Sutherland.
Thanks, Coach Lane. I want to start off by publicly apologizing to him. As you all know, he's won 13 Coach of the Years in a row, and I want to say that I'm partly to blame for it not being 14. My freshman year, right before the conference tournament, Lexingtonian Gabe Brewer, who won the 1968 Masters, suggested I make a grip change, and I did it, and it's paid off in the long run, but for the short term, it didn't work out so well, so sorry, Coach. I want to congratulate all the other inductees tonight. It was great hearing about all of you all, and I hope to continue to learn about you all and maybe meet you all and see you at events going forward. I have lots of people to thank here. I want to start off by thanking my parents. They pretty much attended almost every one of my tournaments. Their support before, during, and after college have been unwavering, and it really means the world to me. I'd also like to thank my other family for their support and for showing up tonight. They always kept up with my progress and even came out to support me when I was playing close by. One of the things I vividly remember about my college career was my worst round ever. It was an 89 at Emory's Spring Invitational Tournament, but to end that day, my cousins David and Rhonda hosted us at their house for a wonderful steak dinner. Back to Coach Lane. Thanks for always keeping things entertaining and for being a great roommate on the road and for the prayers. I hope you're still praying for me. You also kept me stocked on Snickers and Outback steak dinners, and I think that might have been the key to all my success. You also taught me one of my most valuable lessons, and I really regret this one, but it ended up being okay. In the second round, sophomore year of the conference tournament, he exercised his one-man dictatorship on the rules committee and gave me a 2-stroke penalty. I missed like a 2-foot putt, and I took my putter and I hit it on my foot, and the putter broke. And that was on the 8th hole, which is the Island Green at University Club, for those of you that have played there. I ended up making a 5, and then he came up to me on the next hole and was like, you can add 2 to that for unsportsmanlike conduct. And that, after having bombed in the freshman year at the HCAC tournament, I felt like I'd really let my teammates down. But thankfully, we rebounded, and we were down by 10 after 2 rounds, and we ended up coming back and winning by 32. So I'm glad it all turned out well, and that was a good reminder to keep my head on straight. I also like to thank my teammates and their families. Several of you are here, and the thing that is probably the most memorable for me is just our whole team and family atmosphere. It was unlike anything I've ever experienced, and with golf being so individual, it really meant a lot to have a nice family atmosphere. Our parents, again, the social chair, the parties, all that was just a ton of fun to be around, and it was nice to get fed well and overspend on the budget. And thankfully, they were there to pick up the tab sometimes. As I look back on my career, I remember my most memorable round. It was my freshman year, and It was actually our second tournament, the Franklin College Invitational, and in the first tournament, I was not in the top 5, and I'd played well enough, and Coach had given me the opportunity to try and qualify. Well, the problem with it is the qualifier was going to be at the practice round for the tournament of a course I'd never seen, and so I'm going into that. I have no idea about the course, and a long story short, in that practice round, I don't know what got into me, but I shot a 65 and easily won the qualifier, and then I went on to win the tournament, and I think that gave me the confidence I needed to really succeed and propel my career forward at Transy. The best team memory I have was winning the conference my sophomore year. Again, I told you all about making the grip change my freshman year. We bombed, didn't win when we should have. And then I also had broken my putter and got the 2-stroke penalty, blah, blah, blah. But we were able to rebound and absolutely smoked them in the last 2 rounds and ended up winning by 32. And all in all, my experience at Transy was great. All the team events, having lifelong friends. I see several of my teammates out here, and I think I've played competitively with all you guys since college. I probably talk to most of you weekly, and just all the other friends that are here to support me. It just means the world to me. In closing, I just want to congratulate again all the other attendees and thank Transy and those who helped organize the event. It's been a wonderful evening, and I'm very gracious of this honor. Thanks.